Let's talk about the cope. Let's talk about the cope, guys. So there has been a massive level of cope. Okay. There's been a massive level of cope surrounding two certain video games right now. The first video game we're going to talk about is Crimson Desert, because the journalists are not happy at the success of this video game, because God knows they tried, right? They sure tried. IGN tried by giving the game a 6. All right, everybody and their mother tried to take down this game. In all actuality, a lot of people over on Twitter also tried to take down this game as well. They all failed, by the way. Kind of similar to Hogwarts Legacy. They all failed. They all failed miserably. They failed so much to the point where Crimson Desert has successfully managed to hit 5 million sales in just the first 30 days. As a brand new IP, by the way. 5 million sales in its first 30 days. Providing constant updates, improvements, everything, drawing in new players. It is absolutely killing it, right? Absolutely killing it. Not only that, here's how we're going to make things even more hilarious. Crimson Desert is actually on track. And this is funny, by the way. They're on track to overtake Starfield's total lifetime copies sold by the end of the year. By the end of the year. Crimson Desert is going to surpass Bethesda's latest big boy video game by the end of the year. And they did it in way less time. That is a big oof, right? The reason why this is a big oof is because, remember, a former Bethesda executive came out recently, and I did a video on this. He came out recently and said that they demand respect, right? They demand respect for what they do. They're so amazing at what they do. They demand respect. That according to them, nobody else is doing what they do. Nobody else is doing what Bethesda does. You're right. You're actually right. Most people are trying not to release a broken game. They may not succeed, but at least they're trying not to. You guys just don't give a fuck. So you can fuck off with your, demanding of respect. But according to them, nobody does what they do, right? And here you have Crimson Desert doing what they do, but better. And apparently it's going to overtake their latest major RPG and video game by the end of the year. I think this is absolutely fantastic. I think this is a glorious thing. I think the cope is through the roof. I think that Bethesda's looking at this, and trust me, Bethesda's got a lot of money. Okay, they got a lot of money. Although I'm sure Starfield cost them quite a bit. They still got money. They got backing. They got Microsoft. They got all that shit. But at the end of the day, I just know that Todd Howard and every single one of these egotistical developers over at Bethesda are looking at Crimson Desert and saying, that should have been me. The amount of envy that they probably have looking at Crimson Desert saying, it should be me, is probably through the fucking roof right now. And then to make matters worse, they're not even Western developers that did it, right? These are not Western developers. These are Eastern developers. It makes it even worse for them. It makes them sick. It makes them all sick. You want to know why it makes them sick? I'm going to explain to you. Because they're coping and seething. The journos and Access Media are coping and seething about this game even 1 month later. They don't understand how it's still so successful. How? We did our campaign against it. We told everybody how terrible it is, how boring it is. 30 days later, you got PC Gamer's Molly Taylor, who has written some certified bangers on this website. She says, it's been a month since the release, and I'm still not sure if Pearl Abyss knows what it wants Crimson Desert to be. Lady, let me bring you back to reality really quick. Lady, Crimson Desert, Pearl Abyss knew exactly what they wanted Crimson Desert to be. This is why Crimson Desert was so successful. They knew exactly what they wanted it to be. They wanted it to be a high value, fun, open world sandbox video game where players can jump in and get lost for hours upon hours upon hours and not have to worry about looking into a store, getting basically nonstop fucking bothered by DLC requests or in-store microtransactions. They wanted to make a video game that was an open world sandbox that people could jump in at any given time and experience all the content for one price. That's it. That's what they wanted it to be. Now, I understand she's talking about the gameplay mechanics and how it has a little bit of... Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? And you know what? She says this. The player base says jump and Pearl Abyss says how high. How is that a bad thing? That's exactly how this fucking industry should be. The people that are out there spending their money on your products that you are trying to sell to them, you bet your ass if they say jump, you better ask how high, because that's how you become successful. See, the problem is you guys are looking at all the criticism. You're looking at all the information that's coming in. You're saying that the gamers are the problem. You're not the problem. Pearl Abyss said, oh, you guys have problems with this? You know what? You're right. We're going to fix this right now. We'll get it out to you within a day or two. That's how you do it. Or Pearl Abyss said, you know what? You guys really like this broken feature? Listen, this was not planned. All right, you're not supposed to be able to fly like this. You're not supposed to be able to do anything. But you know what? You guys like this so much, we're going to add it as a feature to make you happy. So yes, the player base says jump, and they said how high, and they met us every single time. Every single time we had an issue, they met us right at where we said the issue was. They never once ran away. They never once blamed you, the player. They never once did any of that. They said, you know what? You guys are right. We're going to fix this. We're going to work on it. And if we can't fix it within 48 hours, we're going to tell you exactly when we can fix it and what we plan to do. And that's what they've been doing. That's literally what they've been doing. So, again, guys, at this point, Pearl Abyss has proven to all of us, and especially the journalists, that we are the customers. And the problem that the journalists don't understand is that they forgot that. See, the thing is, the journalists, they live in a world where they pay for nothing. They pay for nothing, right? They live in a world where they get all their codes for free. Most of them, anyway. Some games they don't get, like Nintendo probably. But they get all their codes for free. They get all the swag. They get all the fucking merchandise. They get all the collector's edition, everything for free. Everything gets given to them. They get flown out. All this shit. They live in a world where they pay for nothing. So they feel like since they get it for free, that they have to maintain a certain relationship in order to get that stuff for free. Because otherwise, how do you get it for free, right? You don't want to have to start paying for stuff. Oh my God. They live in that world. Everybody else lives in a world where you have to pay for the video games that you consume. So naturally, when you pay for something, you're going to be more curious about the quality of something that you just paid for. If you're getting it for free, well, you don't care. Not as much anyway. Here's the thing. PC Gamer and other journalists like them, they know what's up. They know what's up, right? Nothing has been more obvious than Crimson Desert is a single-player game created by an MMO developer, then its patch cadence and rapid evolution. The game has changed so much in a little under a month as Pearl Abyss has pumped out an absurd number of updates. Quality of life changes, bug fixes, implementing new features. Stuff that I would expect to arrive weeks or months post-launch have instead been patched into the game within mere days. That's because they're working. They're working their fucking ass off. They're not Western developers that are more worried about going to Starbucks and getting their drink for the third time in a day. They're buckling down, they're grinding it out, and they're making sure that they get rid of all these problems as fast as possible. Because the faster you get rid of a problem, the less likely it's going to stick around in terms of people's minds, and it's going to ruin the experience. Less likely it's going to ruin the experience. The faster they fix it, the better. They know this. They're not Bethesda that's going to sit on an issue for 6 months to a year, and by the time they fix it, it doesn't matter because a modder fixed it within days. You know, they're used to the modding community saving their ass. With Crimson Desert, it's something totally different. So they're able to do that. Western studios and Eastern studios have a different work ethic, a different mindset. Completely different. But again, I guess the journalists don't quite understand, you know? But I'll tell you this. I don't really care that is such a big open world sandbox game. I like that. I like that Crimson Desert is such a big open world sandbox game. You know, Lime Green says Crimson Desert still trash though. It's clearly not. It's clear you can dislike the game, but to say the game is trash is actually factually fucking incorrect. Just straight up, it's factually incorrect. But regardless, you can not like the game. That's fine. You're allowed to not like the game. At the end of the day, this game has proven to multiple different people, and myself included, by the way, because I was very hesitant about the game. I felt like it was promising too much. I felt like it was promising way too much. I felt like Crimson Desert, when I first looked at it, I'm like, how are you going to do all these things? Is that even possible? And then come to find out they did. They proved me wrong. And I have more respect when developers prove me wrong than anything else. Right? Like, if a developer can prove me wrong, I'm more likely to just go above and beyond to respect your game. You know, and that's exactly what they did. They proved me wrong. I wouldn't say 100% because there were some things that I was right about. But for the most part, they proved me wrong so much that I was like, damn, man, this game is crazy. I was just fucking blown away. Completely blown away. You know? So I respect that. And then on top of that, too, I mean, they go crazy in fixing the game within hours. Hours? That's insane, bro. So the work ethic is I respect that work ethic. I respect what they've been able to do. So for me, that sandbox experience, I love it. And again, I want to reiterate, the thing that sells me the most on this game is the fact that they promised no microtransactions in the game. They wanted everything to be for one price, and they kept that promise. At least for now. At least for now. And the amount of content that's in the game, the shit that's in the game is fucking insane. I just ended up paying the other day. Hold on one second. Sorry. I had to respond to a message. Sorry. The other day, when I was playing Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora, okay? When I was playing Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora, you know what was the first thing? And keep in mind, I actually like that game for the most part, but the first thing that was put literally on the screen when I was in the game was the store. I think I still have the screenshot. Hold on. I think I still have the screenshot. Give me a sec. I had sent it to Leon, Kada. I sent it to all the guys because I'm like, this is the shit that I'm talking about. Hold on. I might still have the screenshot. Let me look. Let me look. I might still have the screenshot. Let me go through. I screenshot the store and I'm like, this is what I'm fucking talking about, boys. Like, this is the issue that I have. Because this is the kind of shit, if Crimson Desert was made by Ubisoft, it would be a totally different story. Right? It would be a situation where they would try to nickel and dime you for any little fucking thing. It's disgusting. It really is. Hold on, I'm trying to find the screenshot. Give me 1 second. I have to show you this. It's wild. It's fucking wild. I can't stand it. It was like they had packs for every little thing. Bullshit packs for every little thing. Damn, man, I can't find. Oh, I found it. Hold on. Guys, look at this. Look at this, bro. Look at this. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about, brother. This is a single player game. This is a single player video game. And the first thing that I am greeted with is the store. And we got a fucking Neytiri Avatar premium longbow for 800 points. We got the Forest Serenity Pack for 1,100 points. We got a fucking Jake Sully assault rifle for 800 points. We got a mount for 1,700 points. And literally all of this would be free in Crimson Desert. All of this would be free in Crimson Desert. It is free in Crimson Desert. Not only that, in the patches that they had recently, they added even more stuff. They're like, hey, you want more outfits? You want more mounts? We added some legendary mounts here. Here's some mounts. Have fun. Bro, this is crazy shit, my guy. This is crazy shit. So the ideology, the difference in ideology between companies is mind-blowing. So when people are like, well, why do you go so hard to promote Crimson Desert? Is because Crimson Desert is what gaming needs to return to. I'm not saying every single video game needs to be an open world sandbox video game. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that offering a full value for the price that you're asking needs to become the norm again. It needs to become the norm. I'm sorry. The fact that we got away from full value video games not becoming the norm anymore and them taking content out of the game to sell us as day one DLC, that shit needs to stop. Straight up. Or taking away content and then selling it in fucking bullshit packs like this, brother. Bullshit packs like this in a single player game? Nah, man. This is why I go so hard, because they said they were going to do something. They actually did it. And they did it above and beyond, I think, most people's expectations about the game. I mean, on top of the fact that I love the game, I think the game is great. Don't get me wrong, but it's also what the game means to the overall gaming scene. So I think that needs to be the norm. This shit right here, what I'm looking at, this shit needs to stop. It's fucking bullshit. It really is. I can understand you do this in a free-to-play game. Totally understand. I can even understand if you do this in a live service game, even though that's fucking gay. I can understand you doing that because you got to keep paying for the servers. Fine. But you're doing this in a single player game, brother. Brother, you are full of shit. Straight up. You are full of shit. So anyway, so when I see articles like that from PC Gamer and other journalists, I'm like, yeah, okay, they're coping.